All right, the letter D in 2-point perspective. Draw your horizon line, sky divided by the ground. We're going to use our two farthest points as our vanishing points. So we're going to create this inside of a block. So let's draw that first line. I'm going to just mark that with an arrow. That's our hinge, thinking of this like a door that's swinging open. We need the left side. So we're going to use the left vanishing point. I'm going to send it to about there. Going back in space away from us towards the left. Going back in space away from us towards the right. We're going to use that right vanishing point. I'm going to make this a little bit wider since that's where I'm going to draw the letter D. There's my block. Shows us how tall and how wide it's going to be. Now for a letter D, I'm going to start it out exactly the way I would create a letter O. So if I'm creating my model to work from out of rectangles, it's going to look just like the O when we get to the O. The only difference is I'm going to taper these edges, and I'll show you how to do that to give it that rounded look to it. All right, here we go. The first part that I'm going to add is that vertical, both these verticals. Let's say there's one, and there is the other. That's done. That's done. Now I'm going to add these horizontal pieces, but they're not staying horizontal. They are angling away from us towards the right, so we have to use the right vanishing point. So I'm going to say about there, and I'm going to say about there. All right. That's done. That's done. Served its purpose. Very good. Now we need to taper these edges off. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in some diagonal lines. I'm going to draw that one in. And I'm going to keep my ruler at that same angle and just slide it in to create an angle there. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. I'm going to angle that in maybe there. Erase the rest of this line. Taper this in, bring it in, and say there. Looks pretty good. Erase that. And that's all I did. And again, erasing anything else that I don't need. So no Frankenstein letters. I want this to look like a solid letter D. Erase, erase, erase. And now I'm going to check my corners. Created this all on the right side, so I got to use the opposite vanishing point. Jump over here, and I'm going to scan. I'm going to put my, well, first, look at this hinge. That very first line, it's going from top to bottom. Top to bottom, we need the whole thing. That means this is a side that will be unchanging. We need that whole side of the letter D. Jump over here. Shade that in. You can do a much better job with your adding color or shading. I'm going to put my pencil point on the left vanishing point, and I'm just going to scan and check all of those corners. Now, I can already tell the only corners I'm going to send are these inside ones, because if I start there, well, that draws through my letter, and I don't want to do that. Same with anything on the outside. So I'm going to just focus on the inside. There's one. Keep scanning. There's the next one. Keep scanning. There's a third one right there. Runs into itself, so you stop. And then I will just add some shading. So that is the side here. So I want it to be kind of relating to the shading that I put on this side. Now these, I'm going to go a step darker. Maybe even make that corner edge a little more pronounced. And then this is underneath that portion there. Again, it's as if I have a little guy who's standing inside this little tunnel. He's looking up. That's going to be like a ceiling. So that's going to be nice and dark. Maybe even more pronounced. And that is the letter D. But if we want it to be a thin slice D, look what we do. Maybe you don't want it to go back so far in space. well, that's going to change the interior. Maybe you want to be able to see through it and behind it. So say it's about this thin. Then the inside has to relate. So I'm going to jump over to the side, and I'm going to have it be approximately the same width, maybe to there. I'm going to accentuate those corners and say, all right, it's about the same value. And then at that corner, I'm just going to match this angle that I drew in. So you may want to line your ruler up with it and slide to that corner because it's going to go there. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to bring my ruler next to that diagonal that I created, that angle, and slide it in that same position until it touches that corner. There that is. Now, I'm going to use my ruler, line it up with the right vanishing point so I can get the back edge of that ceiling drawn in. And I'm going to darken that all in right there. And then I can go and erase. I could erase the rest of this. Let me jump on the other side of my camera here. Erase the rest of this away and erase our little guy away, the rest of that, leaving a hole there. It's not a very good eraser, but you could stick your hand through that and wave on the other side. So that is the letter D in 2-point perspective.